Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017, and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm. I have decided, if you're watching the channel, you saw that I just previously posted a video, another farm sim video from Thornbrook Farm, which means we've got 4 farms going, and we do have FS17 coming up, not too very long from now, about 8 weeks from now. So I am going to start winding down the various maps that we're on, and I think what that's going to look like is as we get to harvest on any of them, whether it's first harvest or second harvest, I think we're going to go ahead and call that map done. So when we get to November, rather than having 4 maps going like we do now, we might only have 1 or 2 going. So if you're curious what's going on, there's so many good maps, and that Thornbrook map really caught me by surprise. I was not expecting that. I did not think Lancey Boy was going to do another map before FS19 came out. But so it goes. So this is what we need to do today. We need to put away our Bowser, which I think we just did last episode. It's weird how time compresses and decompresses, and just how all the things that we do on these farms, how do I want to say this? Time does get a little bit distorted. Not just nothing to be done about it. I don't like clipping through cows, but sometimes that's just the way it works. It's weird because I'll advance several days off camera on a map, and then another map I'll spend hours and hours working on in between episodes, and then another map I'll pick up right from where I left off, but it's been a week of real time since we were on that map, and I have no idea what we're doing, and have completely lost track of what we were working on. So it's weird, and not in a bad way. It's just one of them things, you know. And I don't think we've fed our animals on camera yet. I think I've been doing that off camera. The snow did melt, as you can see, and we were able to get our front loader, our wheel loader that we have. We're using it as a buck rake at the moment, and we did get what was in the buck rake, we did get that into our manure bunker. And then I went in, we had a ton of manure in the actual cow shed, more like 16 tons. It was ridiculous. So I got all that out. Well, I got it into the buck rake, but I left it in there because I wanted to pull it out on camera and show you what that process looks like. I mean, I'm sure you know, but these videos for me, they're all about how I farm, and when I watch other people's videos, I want to see how they farm. Even though, you know what I mean? Even though I have probably by now thousands of hours in this game, I like seeing how other people farm. I like playing the sim, I like watching the sim. It's good stuff. So yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing as far as mucking out the cow shed on this map. And you know, normally I park this tractor up, but no, actually, no, that's not gonna work either. Let me zoom in a little bit here so we don't clip through the wall. How do we want to do this? Let's try this. We're going to be pulling our Optum in here not too very long from now, possibly even, yeah, let's do it this episode. We're going to be pulling our Optum in here to hook up to our cereal grains drill so we can plant barley in field 45. And if this Bowser is parked perpendicular in the doorway like we parked it last time, I don't think I'll be able to get the Optum in and then get the drill out. So let's put this thing, since it only has water in it, and I have no problem parking water next to other equipment. Some equipment, you know, you don't, like, I'm not a big fan of anything involving poo. I don't like to have that near anything, really, as I would not in real life. I mean, no matter how many times you pressure wash that, it's probably not something you want near animal food. That's how you get mad cow disease, is when you've got cows eating their own waste. Even well, I guess even accidentally. Of course it'd be accidentally. You'd never do that intentionally. But if the material from their waste gets into their food, that's how they can get sick. So just as a habit, when I'm gaming, I do make an effort to not have things where they shouldn't be or where they wouldn't be in real life. I try not to get things too close to fuel either, for the same reason. And sometimes the way the map is configured, you just have no choice. But I do try to keep that to a minimum. So I don't have any problem parking a water bowser next to seeding equipment, drilling equipment. Right. Turn that off. It's not been working too hard. Let's go over here and pull the buck rake out, or pull the wheel loader that we're using as a buck rake out. And you know what's funny about this thing is I got the weight kit for it. It's got a massive weight on the back. But when that 12,000 liter rake is loaded up, it still can be a little tricky to drive. It does want to jump around. You'll see when we start trying to pull it out here. Up and over. There we go. Yeah, so JCB. It's 1.5 ton. Maybe we should go to 2 tons. I don't know. But yep, this thing is fully loaded, and I think there's still quite a bit in here. Well, it says 16,000 liters. I think that may... yeah, look how overloaded this thing is. I think that number, I hope that number drops when we get out of here. Because it was 16,000, and then we've got 12,000 in the rake. So that should drop down. No? One would think. One would hope. And also the way BulletBill has these gates set up, they make you sort of pay attention. This thing is just wide enough to clear. Oh. Nosy. Stoppy. There we go. Now, how do I want to do this? I want to lift this up a little bit, just a little bit, and wow, this thing is so light in the front. All right, clipping through cows. I hate to do it. I don't know where I'm at with that. I mean, I know personally I do hate to do it, but what choice do you have? You know, you can't. Whoa, spooky. There's no real pattern to wait for as far as, you know, waiting for the animals to clear a path for you. It just doesn't happen. So you got to do it. Not a big deal. Let's get in here. I am losing my frame rate on this map when we're near the farm. I think we just have too much equipment down this way. It's like right now we're at 60 FPS when we make the turn and face back toward the shed where all the equipment is. That'll drop to 30. Still very much playable. I'm not complaining. I'm just making the observation that when I put a lot of mod equipment in a very small area, it does kill my frame rate. Yeah, like right there we were at 30. You can see it getting a little bit flickery on the capture. We're capturing at 60 FPS, so when we drop down, I know it can jump between frames a little bit and look kind of not so awesome. Right, very carefully in this front heavy thing, let's very carefully drive around here to the manure bunker. I don't know what's in there. I emptied that thing out so many times during the winter. 10,000 liters each time. There's got to be 100,000 plus, and I think we're up to about 80,000 liters of slurry. So we've got some material for our fields, and it's that much less. Ooh, it's that much less fertilizer that we have to buy. So hopefully we'll save some money. We're making money from the cows. They kept us going through the winter. We were making about 9,000 to 10,000 per day from milk sales. There we go. About 9,000 to 10,000 per day from milk sales, and our expenses were I'll call it 6,000 to 8,000 per day, and then we also had to buy grass for the animals during the winter. And I realize you don't have to buy grass. I think the way Seasons is set up, you're almost meant to run out of grass and have the productivity drop a little bit during the winter, as it would in real life. But I have the buyable grass mod, so I just tend to buy grass. And maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. I'm really curious how FS19 is going to be set up. I see a lot of new crops in there. Well, I'll take that back. They're not entirely new. They're crops that we've seen before, but we've always seen them in kind of a mod context. I think sugar was brought in with was it the Platinum expansion? I think sugar was brought in, but I've never seen cotton outside of a mod. Oh, and this thing needs service. It was frozen to the ground during the winter, but it needs service now. So, let's close some doors here and confirm some gates are closed. I'm kind of a stickler about that. The Kramer we can leave out for the minute. Oh, let's check and see what our level ended up being. Huh. It stayed at 16,000. That's what it was before I emptied it. Could be because I left the rake in there while I was talking. Okay, we'll have to see how that goes. Now in here we have our other 1455, and it's got our food mixer on. I think this thing says it's about 40% full, but trough is full, so I'm just going to leave this in here for the moment. Close this, confirm our gates are closed, and we'll hop in our Optum, load it up with seed and fertilizer, and head over toward field 45. And I probably won't seed all of it on camera. Gates are closed. They certainly are. Okay. I don't think I'm going to seed all of it on camera. In fact, you know what? Before I do that, let's see what its status is. Field 45, so that's right here. It is plowed. It is plowed, okay? And I believe I sprayed one layer of fertilizer on it in the fall. Is it cultivated? No. Well, we've got a direct drill, and it has been plowed. I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. I'm hoping. I have seen where if you... Whoops. Fell out of my tractor. I have seen this sim where if you... The way I think of it is there needs to be, I call it an evolution. Something needs to happen to the field. It needs to move from either harvested to cultivated, or cultivated to plowed, or plowed to fertilizer. Like something has to happen to it. Growth stage 1 to growth stage 2. As long as something happens, then it can receive another layer of fertilizer. So I'm curious, because this drill that we're going to jump on here does fertilize, but I'm curious. Actually, let's check one more thing before we hop in there. Our Optum, is that it? Nope, that's the Puma. Our Optum is 313 horsepower, and our drill, we can get to it, is that it? 320 horsepower. Yep, we've done this before. It's right. How do you feel about it? You want to risk it? Let's risk it. I like this tractor, and we just got it in the fall. What was I talking about? Oh, so this thing does put down fertilizer, but I don't know, because nothing has happened to that field since it was harvested. I don't know if that will be enough. Let's swap that over to barley. I don't know if that will be enough, or if the fertilizer that we put down essentially clip through the wall, or essentially it just won't count as anything. I hope that doesn't happen, because if that is the case, then all that fertilizer is just wasted, and we are not exactly made of money right now. As you can see, we're going into the negative filling this thing up. But you know what? It's a video game. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. All right. So we are here. Top this off with fertilizer. I apologize for clipping through the walls. The alternative, you know, is we are running the disable camera something, but what it does is it prevents the camera from sort of bouncing around as you move around obstacles, things that would cause the camera to try to adjust around that obstacle, and it makes it sort of bouncy. There we go. Close our lids. It makes it sort of bouncy. So with that mod activated, then when you do something like go into a garage, rather than bouncing the camera to get inside the wall, it just clips through the wall. It can be a little bit annoying. Not the end of the world. Hopefully not the end of the world. Right, so I'll just go start this field. I think we're at about 20 minutes right now. And I'll go ahead and get it started, and then I'll finish off camera. Now, I think this is the field. I have a video in this series where I showed exactly how I lay in a field to do tram lines. And I don't know if you saw that. But I'll go ahead and start it the same way. And turn that 90 degrees. I'll go ahead and start it the same way, but I won't go through the whole thing. No need to do that. And in fact, oh, that's convenient. You can still see where the tram lines were from last year. Interesting. All right. Set the brake. Let's move this over. We've got that sort of slow pivot because my dead zone is not dead enough. Right about there. And set this to GPS, which makes this 3 of 3, so that's 2 of 2. Is that about right? I think that might work. So that means, and this game looks so much better at, don't hit the fence, don't hit the fence. There we go. This game looks so much better at 60 FPS than it does at 30. Well, naturally. And this is 1. Okay, this ought to work. Not ideal. Not ideal, but I think it's going to be okay. So, lock that in. Lock that in. Set a cruise control. What do we want to do? Let's say 5 miles per hour. 5, I said. 5. 5. There you go. And now we have to estimate where the edge of the field is going to be. Say right about there. Right about there. Moment. Is this not direct? It is. Interesting. It doesn't... Okay. That is very interesting. Is it... Yeah, I guess there is a... Okay. Okay. There is a slight change in texture. So, break off. Put that back down. No. I said put that back down. Down. There you go. Cool. So we'll just do a couple of rows. Let's see how we're doing on time. And we're at 20 minutes, so this will be perfect. This, I think, is 315 horsepower versus 320. A little better. Oh, this is just, it's fighting me. It does this sometimes. And when I say it's fighting me, it's not, the game's not doing anything. This is just me not being the best fake farmer. So, I'm going to break the immersion here for a minute. Come back down here. Start this row again with everything sorted out. So the hubs are locked in. There we go. Just pretend the past few minutes didn't happen. Like it was all a dream. So that is curious about that texture, but it is seeding the field. So that's what we're looking for. And what we'll do is we'll do a row here. And when we get to the end of the row, we'll go back and see if we... Come on. Yeah, I'll swap this out off camera. That 5 difference of horsepower is just... It's going to make all the difference. This is a more realistic seeder that we have on here. And more realistic does not play. It's not a more realistic tractor, but it is a more realistic seeder. It's interesting. It looks like it's leaving tram lines. I don't think it is. This is very curious with the textures here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm going to get up to the end here, turn around, go back, make one more row. We'll call it an episode, and then I will take a look at some things off camera and see maybe we've got a problem here. Those look, I mean, it's not making tram lines. I'm looking at Proceed, and Proceed says nope, but it still seems a little, you know what I'm saying? A little odd, a little odd. Not the end of the world. Okay, we'll make our turn. We'll head back down the next row. And that'll take us to probably about 25 minutes. So right about there. Yep, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's something specific to sunflower stubble. I don't know what that means, but I'll take a look and just confirm that we are actually seeing. Now here it's not leaving any marks. Huh. That's kooky, man. That is really, really weird. I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, so it goes. We'll get to the end of the row. I'll sort it out off camera. Right, we'll take a look and see. This field had 1 layer of fertilizer on it. We'll take a look and see if it now has 2. One from what was on there, and the second from what's coming out of the drill right now. So we'll lift it right about there. Pulled over here. Right. Step over here where it's a little quieter. And yep, it says it's seeded. Okay. Let's take a look at the map. And that says that it has been, right? And that says it has 2 layers of fertilizer. Fantastic. Those are all the things I was looking for. Folks, let's get back here and end with a nice thumbnail. There you go. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 2017 from Lone Oak Farm. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.